Okay, so my name is Diana Heiss. I am full professor and chair of the photography and filmmaking department, and I like to think of our department as a creative laboratory for the exploration of ideas and feelings through the lens-based media. So for me, there's first the question of the apparatus that we use, and having versatility with thinking through the relationship between still and moving images. And that there has also historically been a relationship between those two mediums. And that in the end, my goal or my thought is that students have a stronger foundation in which to move into their professional practice once they leave. They have an entire tool set of this vast array of camera work and sound and lighting and gear. So right now we're in the photo studio, which has the green screen behind it, and there's also an area with seamlesses and materials for still photography, and then all of the lighting gear that we need that can be checked out via the media center. We have large scale and small scale printing and all of the scanners and computer gear needed for that. Then we also have the dark room. So we still have analog space to be in the dark room to do forms of alt process. Classroom spaces, particularly for our sound minor. So there's an independent space that's more geared towards sound production in a communal setting, and then we also have spaces for more individual post-production editing for filmmaking.
I'm Dwight Frizzell. I'm a head of the Sound Minor program. Sound has been a part of the photography and filmmaking department since about 1970, I think. Only in the past couple years, though, has it been formalized into a Sound Minor program to introduce you to sound effects recording, voice recording, ambient recording, and production and editing. Sound creates such depth, its presence all around us. So when you start adding sound elements to the screen, spatially what happens, it just opens up. All of a sudden, it's starting to work more forcefully. It's a different kind of experience.
So at this stage, intertwining the programs looks like having mixed major studios. Sophomore levels of photography and filmmaking are together, they're cohorted. So in that means that we're building, I believe, a stronger community between our students. And then there's electives that are taken to maintain the depth of discipline that are of the particular majors.
My name is Jasmine Rodriguez, and I am in the photography department. The gallery space really puts you in the mindset of being an artist, a working artist, and having that good practice and critique. We're all just trying to grow as artists, and so it's really good to have that practice among your peers for sure.
I'm Jack Hawley, and I am a senior in photography and film. I didn't pick up a camera until a couple years after high school. And once I went to KCAI, a professor here kind of opened me up to this world of a moving image. I was able to apply all of the skills that I learned as a photographer. Literally every aspect of photography feeds into filmmaking. They teach you the basics, right? And then they kind of throw you into the deep end, and that's where you really do learn how to swim and find your breath and find exactly why you're making what you want to make.
My name is Ingrid Weaver, and I'm a filmmaking junior at KCAI. I went to a different institution for a few years, and I studied English, but I decided that I wanted to be in an environment where I was creating things rather than just analyzing other people's work. So I decided to transfer to KCAI, and I found a lot of ways to use a lot of the writing I do for scripts as visual poems. I think that the faculty and the filmmaking department is wonderful. Diana's great. She really, my first semester, helped me grasp film and what I wanted to do with it, and kind of the realm of what could be done.
One of the most exciting things as a teacher or as a faculty is having someone come who has never held a camera, who's never edited in Premiere. I would advise that, to not be afraid of learning the technology. It takes time and practice, and we will find all the structures to do that, but to release any notion of being afraid that they can't do it. It is about wild experimentation. So how can we expand the notions of what this practice is through hands-on engagement? And that there isn't a cookie cutter way of doing it. There isn't a good and a bad. There's just the building of individual voices and practices so that it's a lifelong engagement, that it doesn't end when you graduate. This is just the beginning.